morning, evening, wherever it may be around the world. There's a topic today I want to just talk about, and it's the topic of ODing. People say when they hear that somebody OD'd, why does why did God take you from us? I'm sorry to say, but God doesn't take you from the world when you OD. That's the devil. The devil puts his hands on you, and the devil does what he wants with you. I know a few people that's done OD, and I had one close friend that OD. His name was Sean also. We were supposed to be doing this together, to be honest with y'all. It was supposed to be Sean and Sean in the morning. But he chose to play with the devil one night, and the devil chose not to wake him up. His mom, his dad, his sisters, everybody's like, I don't understand how God could do this. I don't understand how God could do it. It's not God that did that. Like I said, it's the devil that did that to him. God died for our sins. So if God died for our sins, then how would it be that God took him away from us? That's impossible. Only way that would be possible is if the devil was playing around. And he was also playing around with the devil. And when you play with the devil wins. Around my area the last couple days, last week, I guess, last few days, within a week, we had two young ladies that passed away. They're not saying how, they're not saying what, and if it was a heart attack, if it was a car crash, if it was a plane accident, if it was a fishing trip that ended bad, it would be all over social media saying, pray for them, blah, blah, blah. Well, they're not saying none of that. For one reason, is because them two young ladies OD'd. And here it is, social media is taken to force that nobody knows, Well, them two young ladies chose to deal with the devil that night. And I'm going to tell you now that they knocked on the devil's door. And when they knocked on the devil's door, the devil chose to let them in. Point being is that when you do that and you choose to mess with the devil, you're not hurting yourself, but you're hurting your loved ones, especially if you have little babies. If you have little babies, if you have little babies around, see, where was I? Sorry, my son walked in. Okay. The two young ladies obviously chose to play with the devil that night. And it's just, they chose to play with the devil won. And now it's a lot of hurt, a lot of unanswered questions. And there'll be questions that they'll never have answers to. All because them two young ladies were selfish. That's the best word I can describe when I hear someone ODing. It's selfish. Not only because it's selfish against yourself, but you're selfish about everyone around you, everyone that you're involved with. Especially when it's someone that nobody would have never guessed that they would be on such a drug. 9 out of 10, it's probably an opiate. Opiates is killing this world. People say COVID pandemic. People say COVID pandemic. What about the pandemic of fentanyl? What about the pandemic of all the opiates crossing the borders? That's crossing the state lines. That's getting into the school systems. That into foster homes. What about all the drug trafficking that leads to human trafficking? What about that pandemic? Why don't the government speak on that pandemic? Oh, let me guess why. Because the mother humping government makes money off of that pandemic. Just like they are for this COVID pandemic. But the millions and billions of dollars that the government makes off of the opiate pandemic will never add up to anything else in this world. The government has their hands so tied into the opiates that it's unreal. And that's a fact. If the government can't help us with the opiate pandemic, then who can? Question. Who can? Because I know I never, ever want to hear one of my loved ones dying because of an opiate. Not after they know what I've been through with it. An opiate turns you into someone that you never thought you'd be. So please, people, please, put it down. Do the right thing. So your loved ones don't wake up one morning seeing your name across social media. And that's probably the most hurtful part about it all, is that when a person ODs, their loved ones, they don't find out first. Social media does. Because somebody done put it on social media, and now that family finds out through social media. Not the coroner's office, not the police department, but social media. So social media, let's spread the word about this pandemic that we deal with every day, called the opiate pandemic. Today's my day. March 9th is my day. The last time I stuck an opiate in my body. Crack cocaine, methamphetamines, anything that I could get my body high with, I was putting it in my body up until March 9th, 2016. As easy it is to pick it up, it's just as easy as to put it down. It's in your head. Wake up! Get some!